Welcome to another episode, everyone. A black man in Mississippi warns America. He sends a brutal, chilling warning to America, white people, and Mississippians that black people in Mississippi are arming themselves by the boatloads. Every black person, in fact, in Mississippi is now arming themselves, having target practice, and ready for a fight. They are not going for it anymore, this black man says, and they are prepared to go to war. Check this out. This is what I'm talking about.
In case you don't know, here in the state of Mississippi, we have launched a movement called Operation No Way. And you may be asking me, what is Operation No Way? Well, I'll tell you what is Operation No Way. We, the black community, have decided to take matters into our own hands. As black, brown, and African Americans here, we can no longer trust the government to handle things for us. We can no longer trust the law enforcement to do what is right. So we will take matters into our own hands to protect ourselves and our children in a legal way that's peaceable unto all. And that way is, right now as we're speaking, 75% of the black, brown, and African Americans here in the state of Mississippi that has a 21-year-old son or daughter or older that is eligible to receive a permit and license to carry a concealed gun or weapon here in the state. We're in the process of doing that right now. Right now, we're in the process of picking up our children from college campuses and starting paperwork as you and I are watching and talking in this video right now. As you and I are talking right now, this is what is taking place. Right now, Bass Pro is selling out of guns. Right now, Walmart is selling out of guns. Right now, the gun ranges are filled with people right now that's practicing because we can no longer afford for our sons and daughters to go out unprotected. Not only do we believe in God and have faith in God and we walking right, we sure enough gonna walk armed this time. Not only will we have the shield of faith, the sword of the spirit, we're gonna have a gun on our hip just to make sure as we're walking with our feet shod the preparation of the gospel of peace among our citizens. We're gonna make sure we carry us a peace so we can protect our peace as it pertains to our family. So that's what's taking place here in Mississippi. And we're calling every black, brown, African American family to go. If your child is at the age of 21, your son and your daughter, they meet the qualifications, by all means. Because I'm telling you right now, the pawn shops are selling out guns. It's just that serious. So in about 2 months from now, all of you that watch this video, when you come to Mississippi, don't be surprised if you see a couple with the husband with the gun on the hip, the wife with the gun on the hip, the 21 and 22-year-old with guns on the hip. It's just that serious now. We're not playing no games. And we're calling it, as it has been declared, Operation No Way.
Yeah, Operation No Way. And that's proposed by Dr. Lyles. We, the Mississippi black community, has declared hashtag Operation No Way, proposed by Dr. Lyles. Join the movement, he says. And there you have it. Said, leave a comment. Operation No Way. Yes, they're not going for it in Mississippi any longer, of course. Many black individuals have come up missing, dangling from a tree there in Mississippi and other parts of the country, New York, Tennessee, and the list go Alabama. 25 black people have come up dangling from a tree since March of 2025, less than a year and a half ago. After just 70 total since 2000, suddenly there's been a major uptick since Donald Trump has been in office. Really, you can make that correlation. He went into office and, there's been for the second time, and there's been a major uptick. And so here we have this brother saying that it's now Operation No Way. As he speaks, as we speak, as we listen to this, they're taking up arms in Mississippi. He says the stores are selling out. Walmart, the pawn shops, gun stores, they are selling out. They're signing their children up that they're going to get their kids out of school. Come on, leave. Come over here and sign it and get, if you're 21. And they're at gun ranges, you heard them, and they're preparing. And he says that he's a God-fearing man. He believes in God, as many of those people do. I hope your God is not blonde haired with blue eyes, because that's a fake God. That's a fake Jesus. That man does not exist. That was a God given upon us, forced upon us by our brutal slave owners. That's a fake God. Any church that's teaching you that is teaching white supremacy. Nevertheless, he believes in God, whatever his God is. But regardless of that, we're sick of just believing in God, waiting on God to take care. Where was God during slavery? If I was praying to God, to the same God that YT people were praying to, then hell, he was listening to their prayers and not mine. So he's saying that yes, we believe in God. That's fine. But we're going to, just in case God doesn't want to take care of it. God hasn't been too kind to black people. So maybe God won't take care of this. All of our ancestors who waited on God to take care of it died a horrific death. Maybe we're not going to wait on God anymore. Maybe this is something we have to do ourselves. Maybe then God will respect that. So he says we're not waiting on God. We're going to take care of it. I said, yeah, there we go. Let's turn up. And behind the scenes, we've already been talking about actually heading to Mississippi. I've had this conversation with myself, with some brothers, trying to put a crew together. I'm dead serious. But don't want to speak about it too much on the internet, but I'm not just on here talking. I'm ready to die for this. We're sick of it. You understand? But not just die. Because as Nina Simone said, she blames black men, black people. I'm going to assume she meant black men for Malcolm X's death. And she said it's because black men, black people are willing to die, but they're not willing to kill. Wow. They're willing to die, but they're not willing to kill. Wow. But those days are long gone, you devils. We're not going to be the only ones out here dying. We're going to stop killing each other. That's what the black man is going to do. Yeah, we're waking up. We're going to stop harming and unaliving one another. That's what we're going to do. And turn our focus where it needs to be. You understand? Do you get it? Those days are long gone that we're willing to die but not kill. That's all we've been doing is dying. And y'all been doing all of the killing. And it's fun. It's fun to you all when we're dangling from these trees. They find it fun. They have posters and postcards with them pointing at the body laughing. They think it's a game because it's not them. It's fun until it's you. The same people, we're finding this out every day with these people who voted for Donald Trump, who are now suffering because of their vote. When they thought that it was only going to affect black people, they were okay with it. But now that their vote is affecting them, they are no longer okay with it. They're online crying. Because now it affects them. The chickens have come home to roost on them. So now they understand. Now they feel what we've been feeling forever. But as long as they didn't feel it, they had no compunction. They had no understanding. They could not relate to what we have been saying and what we have been going through because it did not affect them. When black people, when black mothers cry about their child's death, these people don't even understand her tears. I recall Cyrus's mother, the 14-year-old boy. He was not a man, he was a boy, a child, brutally killed by Rick Child, who I don't, for the life of me, understand how he's still walking the face of the earth. She said she was receiving all of these hateful racist messages saying you should have raised a better son. It's one less N-word we have to worry about in the world. This and that, just hateful stuff. She was crying on the news saying, I can't understand how people can be so hateful towards my son who was killed, who didn't steal nothing, who didn't do anything. And they're still hateful, like he killed someone. And he's 14 years old. She just couldn't understand how these people could be so hateful for an innocent child. And I don't understand how she doesn't understand. It befuddles me every time I hear black people say that, how can they be like this? I can't believe they hate us so much. And it's as if you have all of this data, thousands of years worth of history, recorded history, that dictates to anyone with intellect, just common sense even, that these individuals are diabolical, not even human. We have evidence. And yet you still ask the question, how could they be so cruel? As if you don't get it yet? Have you studied any part of history? Yeah. They have no mercy on a 14-year-old kid like Cyrus dying because they do not see black people as human beings. They truly do not. They do not. Do you know that they had a human zoo where they put black people in cages? Little black girls running around as white people are there laughing at them and petting them like animals? They don't see your child as a human being. 3/5 of a human being is what they believe. They have always believed this. Not only do they not care about Cyrus's mother's tears, they cannot understand her tears. They're saying, how can you cry for a non-human? How can you cry for an animal? What is wrong with you? They don't think that black people feel. I'm telling you that there has been this myth forever that black people do not feel pain in the same way that other human beings do. This is partially why they were so brutal during slavery. Did you know that dodgeball came from a situation where they would put black people and, you stick your head through, and now they changed it where it's animals, the same thing that they have at these fairs, the same thing that they have at these fairs, where they throw balls, the animal comes and you try to hit the animal with the baseball, and you win a prize. That used to be black people. This is documented. It used to be black people's faces, human beings, that they would put inside of that little thing, put your head in there, and they're throwing balls, hard balls at black people's heads, girls, boys. This is what they were doing. Brutalizing them, disfiguring their face as they laugh like they're playing baseball, throwing balls at their face. The sight of the blood and their face becoming disfigured doesn't strike them, doesn't off-put them, doesn't give them pause. It excites them. They continue to go. They're animals. What part don't you get? It doesn't matter that they call you an animal. The truth is, we know the history shows that they are the animals. Period. It's not even close. Around the entire world. So when she cries, they say, what is she crying for? They don't see you or your child as a human being. They don't even think that black people can feel, that you have the capacity to cry, to feel for your child. They really believe this. Evidenced by the fact they're bombarding her in the messages about why is she crying over her 14-year-old animal child that died, that was brutally murdered. They can't understand her tears. And the other reason that they can't understand her tears is because they haven't had to shed those same tears. White women have not had to shed those same tears that black women have been shedding in this country for generations over their child. So they can't relate. They don't understand. I know how we can get them to understand. I know how we can get them to relate. I know how we can get them to see that we love our children just as much as you love yours. That our child life matters just as much as you believe your child life matters. You don't understand what we're going through? Let us show you. Because you don't get it until it happens to you. You don't get it until you feel the same thing that you believe we are incapable of feeling. They don't believe that you have feelings. I'm telling you, they don't understand your tears. They don't understand why you complain about anything in the country. They don't understand why you cry when your child dies, because they have been taught. It is embedded in them, innate, instilled, bequeathed to them by their ancestors, that black people have no feelings. They really don't get it. And they don't get it when you cry because they have not had to experience these same tears. They don't have to worry about their child walking down the street and being found dangling from a tree for no reason. They don't have these concerns, so they can't relate. Well, black man, it's time to get them to understand what we understand. And talking is not going to do it. Marching and holding signs, it's not going to do it. If that were going to do it, that would have worked 60 years ago. We wouldn't have to do it now because it would have worked then. We wouldn't have to be holding signs now if it was effective, because we held signs 60 years ago. So if it worked, we wouldn't have to do it again 60 years later because it already worked. We don't have these problems anymore. The fact that we have to do it again now means that it did not work. It does not work. They take your head off and you hold a sign. The math is not mathing. They can't relate. They don't get that. The only time they're going to get it, the only time they're going to understand is when it happens to them. That's it. When Nolan turns into little freckle face Brad, then they're going to understand. The same way they're all understanding now, the people, the Latinos that voted for Trump, that didn't think it was going to affect them, but now that it affects them, they're so upset, so angry, and regret their vote, wish that they can take their vote back because now it affects them. You have them saying, I didn't believe black people when they were saying that they used to get harassed and profiled, but now I believe them because it's happening to them. And that's the only time people are affected is when they are affected. And for far too long, it has only been our community affected by this unhinged violence. I'm a nonviolent person like Martin Luther King. But I, like Malcolm X, do believe in self-defense. To the highest degree, I believe that it's time for black people to defend ourselves. Even if that means going on the offensive. But us being sitting ducks, sitting around, waiting for these individuals to take us out. No one is doing anything about it. Every one of these deaths have been ruled nothing to see here. They did it to themselves. Every one of them. Not one person has been arrested. 25 people found dangling from a tree. All black people. We're the only race all of a sudden that takes ourselves out in that way. No way. But nothing is being done about it, which means it's rotten from the top to the bottom. But it's going to continue to happen until we stop it, until we do something about it, until that police officer, that coroner who keeps saying that they did it to themselves, the police officer who says no foul play within 2 hours, nothing to see here because they're all involved, until it's his son, it's his wife instead of yours. Then he'll get it. Not because this is what we want to do. Clearly, we're nonviolent people, except as it relates to other black people. That's when we get violent. That's pretty much the only time we get violent. Since we are such self-hating, indoctrinated people, that's the only time we get violent. Other than that, we're just as nice and as peaceful as we can be with everyone else in the world. We just want to be left alone. We just want to be equal and all of this stuff. We don't want any problems. Nina Simone said here. We're okay with dying. We're not okay with killing. We're okay with you killing us, but we're not okay with killing. It's against Jesus. So we're nonviolent people. So no one is calling for violence, but for self-defense. Simply saying that if it's going to be violence, it's going to have to be two ways. It can't just be one. As long as it's one, we're going to continue to lose. But when it affects them, suddenly, just like suddenly all the Trump voters get it, because it affects them now of every ethnicity. We hear them talking about how they get it now. They regret their vote. Everyone. Okay. Suddenly, everyone is going to get it. When it's their 17-year-old, 14-year-old dangling, suddenly, and they have their tears and they're crying and they go to these damn funerals that black mothers keep going to. When they're online crying, like black mothers keep having to come on the internet crying, asking why, then they're going to suddenly get it. I guarantee you, they're going to suddenly get it. They're going to suddenly say, stop the violence. Let's all get along. There's a better way to do this. There's a better way to relate to one another. This must stop now. Suddenly everyone's going to stop it. The police, everyone's going to stop the violence. No one wants to stop it right now. No one is being held accountable for anything that has happened to black people in this country right now. Not one person has been held accountable. But suddenly, they're going to want to stop the violence. I promise you. When they start experiencing it. And that's the only time that it's going to stop. Make no mistake about it. My bad. Let me continue with the video. For those who may still be here.
Because there will be no way for what happened to Nolan Xavier Wells to happen again. We're not allowing it. So God bless you and keep you. Have a great day. In case you don't know, here in the state of Mississippi, we have launched a movement called Operation No Way.
Okay. There you have it. Operation No Way in Mississippi. He says, join the movement. It says, join the movement. And you heard what he had to say. For those who remember before I went on my rant, that they're arming themselves there in Mississippi through Walmart, pawn shops, whatever. They've emptied out the gun shelves, the gun in every store, arming their children, arming themselves. He says, don't be surprised. You come out there, you see a husband, a wife, a grandmother, a grandfather, a son, a daughter, and they all strapped. And they all strapped. And ready to use them, know how to use them, been going to the range, Not just out there walking around willy-nilly just to show off. They know they ready to protect themselves. You push up on them. You get that, Sammy? Brad, are you listening now? You walk up on them, they going to be ready for you. Take your face off. Yeah, that's what's going to happen to you. Something that should have been happening to you, because that's the only thing that you're going to understand. Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't care. I said what I said. I'm going to lose some people sometime. But I don't fight for recognition from anyone else anyway. I don't care about that. I'm only here to do right by my people. Whatever that takes, including giving my entire life. But y'all continue to harm my people with absolutely no repercussions. Those days are long gone. Stay safe and stay free, people.